have in my hand here a combo receiver from Telestar. Now, it's a combo receiver in the aspect that it has two feeds on it, one coming from a satellite, which would, for instance, give you the free BBCs, ITVs, etc., and a terrestrial input as well for receiving the new Irish Saorview channels, okay? So this box itself, it's marketed specifically at somebody who wants a simple, reliable box that is doesn't have the extra functionalities such as PVR to allow you to add hard drives, record and all the rest of it. Somebody who just wants to use this box for viewing both the Irish and UK channels on a single receiver. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to open up this box here, and you can see the contents that come inside. There's a user manual that we have here that currently only comes in German, but what we have on the website is a very detailed video guide to all the features in the box that's available for viewing. And we have here the actual receiver itself, which you can see is quite attractive. And we have a remote control here, which we've tested and found to be quite a good remote control. Okay, so let's just look at the front of the box first of all. So what we have here is, if we just pull down the flap at the front, we can see we basically have an on-off switch here. We have a sort of selector switch here. We have an LED display here, so you can see whatever channel number you're on. We have a USB port here as well, okay? Now, if we turn to the back of the box, as I mentioned earlier, there's two inputs here basically we need to focus on. There's an LNB in here, which is simply for connecting directly to a satellite dish. So typically, if you had a Sky dish already, you could run it in here and it'll just bring in the ITVs, BBCs, Sky News, etc., all the free satellite channels. And then also there's a second input here, which has antenna in here written above it, and it comes from a UHF area, and it'll give you whatever Saorview channels are available. So in terms of output then, how to connect to the television, if you have an older standard definition television that just has a SCART input, you'd use a SCART lead like this, output here, and a SCART lead to connect it. Now, if you can view the HD channels on the older televisions via this, but the box comes with a downscaler, which means that it'll convert the high definition pictures to standard definition, so it's possible to view it on an older television. But if you have a newer HD television, always use a HDMI lead, because the advantage here is that on the HD channels you'll be able to see them in HD, which is obviously preferable. And then we have another USB port here at this point. Normally we'd use USB ports really just for programming up the boxes. If we had a set channel list, we could program them very quickly that way. There is a limited media player on it, but once again, I would say that this box is really should be sold and used on the basis that it's just for the channel viewing more than for the media player features. And then we have an on-off switch here. Now, if we just push that box to the side for a second, I'll just focus on the remote control. Now, on the remote here, this particular combo box comes in a range of different versions, some with the PVR functionality on it, okay? Now, we've decided not to, so this remote is standard for across that range of boxes. So there's extra button functionality here, like rewind, record, all the rest of it, pause. But that's not, these features are not available on this particular box, so it's important to be clear on that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to come along here. I'm going to grab the box. I'll just hold it up here so you can see it clearly. And first of all, I'll simply plug in the box. But next, I'm going to come along here and I'm going to grab the terrestrial aerial UHF input for the Irish channels, and I push it in here. And next, then I come along and I take a feed from a satellite dish, which you have mounted outside, and we come in and we simply push it in here. Now, normally it'd be a screw-on F connector. For ease of the video, I just actually have a special type of push-on F connector here. Okay, so we'll just rotate that. Or the final thing here is then, we'll have a choice then of, if we have an old television, simply come along and connect with this SCART lead. But in this case, because it's a high definition television, what we'll actually do is we'll come along and we will simply push in this HDMI lead here. Okay, so we can see here then, actually the box was turned on there already anyway, and we can see here that we're on the BBC channels here, okay? So so that's it anyway. So this is an overview of the box now. So we've tested this box relatively extensively at this point. Very, very happy with it, and I think it'll fit very nicely into that niche in the market for somebody who just wants a basic, reliable combo box to be able to receive the UK and the Irish channels on a single receiver.